Hey everyone. So this is going to be one of those videos where I just hit the record tab and see where my minds and my words take me. See what all comes out and jeez. I I don't even know really where to begin, guys. Um so like the rest of you in our little community here, I've been keeping tabs on everything going on with Keith Ricker. Of course, we all know him better as BigVolDaddy. Um And speaking of which, Law Tide, if you happen to see this, thank you so much for giving the updates and keeping all of us in the loop with everything that's been going on. Now, um, at the time of me making this video, as far as I know, he's BVD's still here with us. He hasn't left us yet. Um, but with the last update from Law Tide, it sounds like the family's been called, and when that happens, that's not good. So you kind of have to start prepping yourself for the worst. Um, just so you guys know, I know Ben's not here for this, and of course, you guys know it's because of opposite work schedules, and he can't be here for it. But we're gonna look to do more on Sunday. But just for now, it's just me, because BVD and I go back 14 years. So I had to say something now. Um, so yeah, where to begin? Um, so I know a lot of you guys have done videos already, and um, really I'm no different than you guys. It was the same thing with me. I started doing YouTube videos back in 2009, just right before the start of college football season that year, and you know when you start doing YouTube videos, of course, all those basic questions come into mind, like you guys were talking about. Some of you, uh, you know, what do I do? Who do I put this out there? Who's going to watch it? All that stuff. Well, I was no different. I was looking for some way to get my videos out there, to get people to watch them, that kind of thing. And of course, you could say, yeah, you post them on YouTube. Anybody can, but it doesn't always work out that way. You want to try to find people that you can relate to, that would actually watch them, that have interest in what you're talking about. And you know, the old TTC, like a lot of you, um, I was the same way. That's the first group that I fell into. And 14 years later, there's still some of us going strong with it. And Keith was one of the first guys in that group to, kind of open his arms and say, "Hey, Sean, welcome aboard." Um, and we subbed each other with a lot of other people that were involved in that group, and watched one another's videos. And my videos definitely got watched a lot more than what they had been before that. And of course, over those years, you develop a lot of friendships with a lot of people that we met in that community. And Keith and I became good friends, and well, the rest is history. Um, a lot of those guys, I became good friends with him and Magnum, and several others. Ben, because Ben came along later, and now we have our show here. Um, and I really don't want to try to talk like Keith is gone, because he's not. From what I understand, like I said, from what I understand, he's still here. But all I can say is I pray to God for a miracle, that you know things can turn around. I mean, it's happened before, but you got to accept the fact that sometimes the answer is no. Um, oh Jesus, I'm not ashamed to show emotion or anything, but you want to keep yourself in check, because the person that you're talking about, even though they're not doing so hot right now. You want to think of all the good, the stuff that can make you smile. Yeah. That's one thing that Keith is really good at, is making you smile with so many of the funny stuff that he's done over the years. And yeah, just such a great man. I mean, maybe there'd be times where he would tell you, no, I'm not that great of a man. No, Keith Ricker is a great man. He's a kind of guy who would definitely put others first before himself. He thinks a lot about others, and he was always the kind of he is, because he's not gone yet. This might sound like a cliche, but the kind of guy who would probably give his shirt off his back to help you out. Yeah, it's so many good memories. And I gotta say also that Keith is one of the strongest guys that I've ever met. With all the kind of shit that he's had to go through in his life, that he's told me about in private, and even the stuff that, from knowing him these past 14 years, some of the shit that he's gone through, and still come out on top to talk about it. I mean, he'll be the first one to tell you that, he's had some struggles and rough times, and well, he said it in his last video, and I hope to God it's not his last. 17 surgeries over the past 2 years. That would take down a lot of people, but he kept getting up and fighting it time after time after time. Obviously, as we all know, I mean, regardless of what your beliefs are, one thing is certain: we're not going to be on this earth forever. That's just a given. We all know that. Even if you don't believe that there's a God, that's just, we're all destined to pass away. It just, the times when it really sucks is when you don't see it coming. And something that I've learned with, personal experiences and all that, if and this should further fuel this. Those of us who are really close, but you could say that this applies to anybody. If you're close with somebody, or a lot of people, or whoever, doesn't matter. We got to start making time to talk more and see more of one another, because obviously our time on this earth really is not as long as we think it is. I mean, even if we live to be 100, that's really not a long time when you really think about it. We're only put here on this earth for a certain amount of time. And yeah, the world definitely sucks sometimes. It sure does. There's no question about that. But with the people that you care about, that you love, that you're close to, make that time to talk more, to see more of one another. Stuff that we all take for granted all the time. And that's one thing that I definitely can say that I will always be fortunate enough is the fact that I actually was able to meet Keith in person. It was only for 2 days. It was when I was back in 2019 when I was heading down to Georgia to see the Irish take on the Bulldogs. I was able to stop in Greenville for a couple days and spend 2 days with BVD, and excuse me. We made it count. Because it's not like I can make it down to Tennessee every day, and obviously he couldn't make it up here to Illinois every day. So yeah, that's something that I will always be fortunate enough to have met him in person, to have been on a live show with him. The first day that I was there. Yeah, what can I say? Keith, we'll always love you like family. And even though it's looking grim, I pray to God that you pull through and that we get to see your face on YouTube some more. But if the Lord decides to bring you home, then that's something that I can rejoice in, is that you won't suffer anymore. There's definitely some there's good that comes from that. Is the people that you care about, when they leave this earth, they no longer suffer. But yeah, the last video that BBD did before he had to go in for a surgery, he said, thank you to everybody who watched him and gave him views, donated and whatnot. No, I thank you, Keith. Thank you, BBD, for being you and the kind person that you are, and the stuff that you do. Yeah, the way you make us laugh, entertain us. That you can just be this person to shoot the breeze with. The last personal conversation him and I have was about the Chicago Bears drafting the Tennessee's right tackle Darnell Wright. So yeah, the memories are there, and they'll always be there. And I'm willing to bet that whenever BVD does get to heaven, I'm sure the first person they'll probably run into is Chris, Golden Blue Dude, and the conference realignment talk will continue. And I'm sure Dwayne Roll Tide Roll, who I'd forgotten to mention, I'm so angry at myself that I didn't do that sooner. But the football talk is gonna be interesting up there. But I pray that by some miracle that things take a 360 and Keith sticks around. But if not, if that's, like I said, if he has to go home, then he'll be in good hands. So yeah, I didn't want to make this that long, but it is what it is. And so yeah, to his daughter Kayla and to the rest of his family. And speaking of his family, one thing I think was very special too, that this was a very fortunate thing that I was able to witness with a lot of others, was that Keith got to find his biological son, Kevin. I remember watching that night, and that was, oh, what a powerful moment. So all I can say is thank you, Keith. We love you. We'll always love you like a brother, like family. And regardless of what happens, your legacy will always live on. That's the thing, people. You don't have to be a superstar or a famous person for a legacy to continue, for a legacy to be powerful. Always remember that. And like Keith always says, hug your parents if you still got them. But I add on to that, hug everybody that you're close to, and make more time to talk, and make more time to visit one another, to see one another, because our time on this earth isn't long. So on that, everyone, this is ND Sean 45. I'll talk to you guys later. Ben and I will have more to talk about Sunday. God bless BVD, and like I said, we'll love you forever like family. And thanks for coming into my life. God bless.